YouTube, how's it going? Well, this is, let's see, this is Tuesday's video on Wednesday, which means I'm almost caught up on the daily vlogs for the YouTube market. This is great. I keep it up, I'll get caught up later today, and everything will be back on track. This is good. Part of my getting caught up with things was getting episode 186 of my Minecraft adventure out, which I uploaded this morning just a little while ago. And it's a special one, because one of the things that I have been looking for in Minecraft ever since they were first introduced was NPC villages. And there was a lot of talk about, well, a lot of people saying, well, you can't get NPC villages in an old world, you've got to make a new world for that. Well, I proved them wrong, as have actually many other people. But the key to it is to go to chunks that have not previously been generated. And so that happened. But it was kind of interesting, because the village I found is perhaps, I think, the craziest NPC village I've ever seen anything of. And here's a picture of it. What you're looking at there is the entire NPC village. The whole thing. 1 1/4 houses, complete with 2 NPCs, although they're not in the picture. And this is really strange. Okay, while I know the actual technical reason for it to show up like this, and that reason is that the chunks in that area, most of them had already been generated. And then when I actually went there, the remaining chunks were generated. And that's the chunks where the NPC village appeared. The problem is the place where the rest of it would have appeared had already been generated in an earlier version where it was considered a snow biome, an ice-covered ocean, in fact. And in this latest version, 1.2.3, the biomes and such have been changed several times since the original generation, and it is now considered desert. Well, the terrain generator isn't going to regenerate old terrain into new stuff. It's just going to generate the new terrain up against the old. And so you have the NPC village, 1 house and 1/4 of a house, because the rest of what would have been the village has already been there. And so I'm starting a project where I'm working on expanding that village and getting it to grow, because in 1.2.3 the villagers can actually reproduce and raise their population. So I'm starting a project to do that. And it's going to be kind of interesting to see what I come up with. I actually now, since having made this video, have something of an idea for what I'm calling an NPC generator. I don't know if it's going to work or how well it'll work, but I'm going to try to build it. But in terms of within the context of the game, it's kind of interesting to think about the psychology of the villagers that built this micro-village. You know, I can see them building 1 house, but build 1/4 of a house and stop? You know, you gotta wonder what's going on in their tiny little zombie pigman-looking pug-faced minds. It's really strange. But that's that. And with that, I'm just about caught up on video making. Episode 187, I'll be working on that later today, in between all of my writing stuff and a few other things that I have to do in the alleged real world. I say alleged because sometimes I wonder how real it is when video seems to be realer than anything, or more real. Realer? Did I actually say realer? Ugh. Oh boy. You can tell it's going to be one of those days. But it's going to be an interesting one. The temperature should get up into the 70s. I've heard talk of some weather changes, more storm possibilities on the way, and so on. We don't know yet. We'll see later. Anyway, I think I've probably rambled on long enough. A link for that video is in the description. Do check it out. I think it's worth watching. Take it easy. I'm out of here.
Mr. TinFoilChef.